Hey everyone, kicking this morning off with a mic test. So I came out here to essentially test all the different microphones I could be using with this new GoPro setup. So I do apologize if the lighting is off. My phone just died, and so I can't actually see the preview. So hopefully you can even hear me. And I was already out here, so I thought, why don't I just turn on the fire and do my morning morning journaling. And it's something that I think is so important to actually, well, number one, just as someone who works from home, get out of the house every once in a while, because I find my best ideas come when I'm not sitting at my desk. I look at the desk as work mode, and then going to a coffee shop or sitting out here is where I can kind of be more creative and come up with solutions, and then I go back and build those solutions, and following that 3X rule that I talked about in yesterday's vlog, making sure you only do something 3 times and then you delegate it to someone on your team, which is really my focus today, is figuring out how do I get more stuff off my plate so I can make more content and of course have more sales calls. So with that, I've got my notes for the day. So now what I do is I take all these notes and I put them where they need to be, either in our project manager, or I send them off to someone else to say, hey, what do you think about this idea? And they'll either say it's great, or more like 9 out of 10 times it's like, nah, Jason, this is not such a great idea. So we'll go ahead and get this day started. Second reason I think it's so important, other than actually forces me to get out of the house for at least a few minutes the start of the day, is it makes sure that you don't treat your brain like a storage device, because really your brain should be treated like a computer, processing power. 80 to 90% of your time focused on execution, not coming up with new ideas or trying to store everything, all the ideas that you have, because it's really easy for you to forget things. And then if you use this guy as a storage device, it's really hard to go from being a solopreneur to an entrepreneur, because something that I've personally found going from just being a freelancer to actually trying to grow an actual business is whatever's in here, nobody else knows, right? Nobody else on my team knows until I write it down, and then I actually put it inside of Asana, or I put it in a Google Doc, or I share what's going on inside of my Evernote, or wherever you store stuff. And the third reason I think it's so important, and I think this kind of ties into why I make sure that at least by the end of the week, I take whatever I've written down and put wherever it's supposed to go digitally, is because, number one, I have a lot, there are a ton of pages in here. This is super disorganized, right? You don't want to be organized when you're first writing things down, but you do want to be organized when you're storing them. And so what this allows me to do is I can go into Asana or Evernote and I can see all the ideas or all the things I want to take on, and then it's very easy to prioritize which one's most important. This is something that I've noticed, in my first couple of years of trying to start a business, is that when I used my brain as a storage device, whatever the new idea was, it was kind of like shiny object syndrome. Whatever the new idea was for the current month or 3 or 4 month period, I was super focused on that, and then I wouldn't look back at my notes. There wasn't one place where everything was where I could say, okay, I know this is a new idea, but actually what I've been working on for the past 2 weeks is a better idea. So this is a not now task. And so having your not now things, and then having your what's important right now, and of course not stopping. Don't stop coming up with ideas. That's not what I'm saying. Just put them in the right place so you can see and prioritize them. So speaking of prioritizing, it's time for me to get back to documenting the process of delivering some client services, getting what's in here onto a Google Doc so somebody else can do it. Finally have completed the documentation of our internal process for delivering YouTube ads to clients. It's been a whirlwind setting this up, and it's always scary when you hit end on Camtasia and then it says recorder has stopped responding, especially when you've been talking for almost an hour. I think the last video I did was about 36 minutes, and yesterday the total run time was about 5 hours. So needless to say, when you're trying to come up with a new service for clients, it's never a walk in the park, which is why I always talk about the importance of just choosing your 2 to 3 core products or services and then just sticking to them, becoming the best you can at them, because there's no way that I could dedicate this much time if we were trying to be experts at all the different, marketing platforms out there. But it's been a good, nice long day, so it's time for me to grab some dinner and then prepare for my last client call of the week. I'm super excited because next week is going to be 100% content production. I actually haven't recorded any content videos in 2 weeks, so I've got a lot of catching up to do on content, but you got to keep the clients happy to keep the lights on. So until the next video, keep building the business you love.